This is Dr. Lourdes, and we're going to continue today the discussion for basic microeconomics subject. And once again, I'm your business doctor, Dr. Richard Cordes, and we are now in the 8th installment of the lesson. Today, we're going to talk about production or microeconomics, and here are the topics to be covered for lesson 8: production function, resource efficiency, cost and profit concept, cost-benefit analysis, economic growth and production, and the distribution and circular flow of goods sa isang microeconomics. And I'm also going to present the objectives or learning outcomes of the topics today, discuss the public and common goods, the cost of production and the factors of production, understand the cost of production and how profit maximizing firms determine how much to produce, and acquaint with the production possibility, opportunity cost, and gains from trades after the lesson. After we are done with the lesson, these are the things that you are capable of doing, at least hoping that we can do all of these things. And let's start with the topic production. So as an entrepreneur, you are doing production if you are involved in manufacturing type of business. Sinabi natin production, we or you as an entrepreneur, you are putting together resources sa isang business. No? Pag sinabi natin mga resources, ito yung mga land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. So basically the factors of production ang ating pinuput together. And after putting together all of those things, you can produce a product that people will be willing to purchase and able to purchase. So hindi lang willing, no? Kasi pag in economics, we're talking about the demand. No? Pag sinabi natin demand, we are not just talking about those goods that people are willing or gusto lang nila. Kasi pag gusto lang nila, wala silang pambayad. So that is not a demand. We don't have a profit sa mga yan. Ang target natin, goods that are willing to be purchased by the people, by the customers, and they should be able to purchase. Meron silang purchasing power para bilhin mga goods and services na yon. So, willing, no? In economics, sinamahan natin marketing, the goods to be sold, ay hindi lang natin basta-basta gusto. Ito yung gusto ng mga customers. So, how do we know if we should be producing goods that are willing or those are the ones of the customers? Through market research. Sinasamahan natin ang market research, no? Before we produce products and sell to them. Kasi pag tayo lang nag-produce, hindi pala nila gusto yung product. So, baka wala tayong revenue, and ultimately we don't have a profit. Ayan. So, dapat meron silang purchasing power and they are willing to buy those products. Okay, production economics. Let us read this one. Managers must decide not only what to produce for the market, but also how to produce it in the most efficient or least cost manner. Pag sa marketing kasi, no, we will produce those goods that are willing to be bought by the customers. Pero pagdating sa economics point of view or accounting point of view, we're going to produce those things that are needed by the customers. Dapat cost benefit din. I mean, efficient din ang pagkakagawa or pag-produce mga goods na yan. Although di tayo basta-basta pag-produce ng mga goods sa gusto ng customers, dapat efficient din ang ating pagkakagawa ng mga goods or products na yan. In economics, it offers widely accepted tools for judging whether the production choices are least cost. A production function relates to the most that can be produced from a given set of inputs. Accounting point of view, economics point of view, we should be producing goods as much as possible, as many goods as possible with the least input. The more output, but the least input possible pagdating sa production. Okay? Kasi pag hindi ito from accounting point of view or economic point of view, produce ng products or goods or output. Pero yung input ganun din karami. So we don't have a profit. Right? So dapat meron tayong output na mas marami. Maximize the output. At the same time, we minimize the input na ginagamit natin. So once again, what are those input? The capital, the labor, the land, the entrepreneurship na ginagamit natin. That is production from economics point of view. Okay, production function, the relationship between the amount of input required and the amount of output that can be obtained is called the production function. So we're just comparing yung dami ng napoproduce na output versus na input na ating ginagamit in producing goods and services. So let us compare here sa ating production function. The vertical lines, it represents the output or yung finished goods, no? The horizontal lines, those are the input na ating ginagamit. So let us compare. Yung ating input, by the way, no? Ito yung labor. Number of workers, that is the number of persons hired. The labor. Number of workers hired versus the number of quantity of output. For example, the cookies na napoproduce nila bawat isang oras. Sa ating vertical horizontal line, example, one person, isang tao lang ang ating ginagamit. In an hour, he can produce 50 cookies per hour. Pag dinoble natin yan, pag ginawa natin dalawa yung workers na nagtatrabaho sa factory, they can produce like 90. Ano napansin nyo? Pag isang tao lang, 50 ang nagagawa. Are you expecting na pag dinoble natin yung tao, magiging 100? Hindi, no? Sa ating function. Hindi siya nagdoble. Dinoble natin yung tao, pero yung doble ng output, hindi naman nagdoble, 90 lang. Dapat 100, di ba? Okay? Pag yung tao, ginawa natin tatlo, we are expecting na dapat 150. Yung magagawang cookies, pero hindi no? Pag ginawa natin tatlo yung workers, 130 lang yung nagagawa. 120 cookies. Right? Pag yung tao, naging 5, di ba, they were expecting 5 na sila kasi dapat makaproduce sila ng like 250. Pero hindi, no? Ang na-produce ay 150 lang. So that is the production function. Mapapansin nyo, habang dumadami yung taong gumagawa, yung number of output, the number of cookies produced in an hour is also declining. It is sloping down, sloping up. At sa atin, yung kanang pag-slow, medyo nabawasan, no? Pagdating dito, medyo nabawasan, no? Okay? Pagdating dito sa pinakataas, para magpa-flat na siya, no? And siguro, pag nadagdagan pa ng mga 7 tao, naging 7 yung workers natin, itong line natin, siguro flat na yan. So what is this phenomenon, no? So, pagdating sa production function, bakit nagkakaganon? May paliwanag natin, no? But basically, no? Habang yung pag dumadami yung tao lang naman dinagdagan natin dito Pero ibang input like the machine, the capital, di naman natin dinagdagan Kaya nag-slope siya. Right? Kasi kahit gaano kadami ng tao, kung machine ay konti lang naman, di natin dinadagdagan. Yung ating output na cookies, pero hindi naman madadagdagan talaga yan. Madadagdagan man sa una, but slowly, it is sloping down. Nagpa-flat na sa dito. Okay? That is the law of marginal return. Diminishing marginal return sa economics. Habang tumatagal, habang dinadagdag yung mga tao, yung return or yung dagdag sa output ay nababawasan din. Nadadagdagan, pero yung rate ng pagdagdag ay nababawasan din. Okay, let's go to the next slide. The production function. Ito yung marginal product. No? Pag sa marginal product, ito yung dagdag sa output or change in the output pag dinagdagan natin yung input. Example, additional worker. Pansin nyo dito, ang output natin cookies, ang input natin yung mga workers. Pag dinadagdagan tao, nagdadagdagan naman kaya lang yung rate of output or additional ay hindi siya consistent. Yes, ibig sabihin ng ng the production function, the marginal product, pag sa marginal product, yung nadadagdag. Yung nadadagdag ay kumukunti naman. Dadagdagan, pero pakunti na pakunti. Marginal product. Okay, hindi siya consistent na pag nagdagdag ka ng isa, dadagdagan na ng 5. Pag naging 5, yung rate ng dagdag, hindi na ganun kataas. The law of diminishing marginal return sa economics. Example dito sa ating output na, how do we measure the marginal products na dadagdagan? Ito sa ating unang image, yung output or the number of people working ay 4. Then they can produce like 6 hollow blocks. 4 workers is equal to 6 hollow blocks. Right? So tigilan sila, tig 1.5. Isa't kalahating hollow blocks yung kala nagagawa. Silang 4. Now, pag ginawa nating 6 yung gagawa, di ba dapat magiging kasi bawat isa di can make 1.5. Pag nagdagdag tayo 2, so plus na to, dapat 9 to eh. Kaya natin, pag ginawa nating 6 yung mga workers na gumagawa ng hollow blocks, they can now produce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? Consistent, dapat lang sila 6. Ikaw ang hollow blocks. Pag naging 6 sila, naging 9. So consistent. 1.5 yung kanilang nagagawa na hollow blocks. Aba yan? Tama, oh. Right, pero hindi pa laging ganon, no? Hindi pa laging ganon yung one eh. The marginal product 3/2. Bakit naging 3? Kasi ang dagdag sa output ay naging 3 nadagdag sa output. From 6 naging 9. Dagdag ay 3. So that is 3. Yung input is over 2. Bakit? Kasi dati ay 4, din naging 6. So ilan ang nadagdag? So 2. Kaya 2. So pag divide mo yan, 3/2, our marginal product is 1.5. Pero hindi pa laging ganon. Habang tumatagal, hindi na siya 1.5. Because of the law of diminishing marginal return. Right? So let's move. The production function, diminishing marginal product. Keeping all others inputs fixed, marginal product of one of the inputs declines as the quantity of that input increases. That is the law of diminishing marginal product. Pag isa lang naman dinagdag mo, yung output mo, madadagdagan, pero hindi sa una lang madadagdagan siya, consistent. Pero habang tumatagal, yung dagdag niyan ay hindi na consistent, nababawasan na. Nung una, ang dagdag consistent 5, but later on, ang nadagdag 4 na lang, naging 3 na lang, naging 2 na lang, no? That is the diminishing marginal product. Sabihin, yung marginal product o nadadagdag ay nagdi-diminish or bumababa habang tumatagal. Pag ang ibang inputs ay fixed, hindi natin dinadagdagan. Sabi natin kanina, ang dinagdag natin tao lang, worker lang. Hindi natin dinagdagan yung machine, yung capital, equipment. So bababa talaga yung production or yung output. Example, if more workers are hired at a firm, each additional worker contributes less and less to output because the firm has a fixed amount of machines and equipment and capacity. Ayan, ibig sabihin, pag ang dinadagdagan mo ay worker lang, at hindi mo dinadagdagan yung ibang input like the machines, equipment, and capacity, yung output mo sa una, nadadagdagan, but later on, pababa. That is the law of diminishing marginal return sa economics. Okay, and what can you say about the marginal product? As the quantity of a variable input. Pag sinabi yung variable input, ito yung mga input na nagbabago. Habang dumadami yung production, yung input ay nagbabago. Or habang dinadami yung input, yung production nagbabago. Kasi nga variable, it varies. Example ng mga variable inputs are, ayan, yung labor, yung manpower hours, no? Mga variable yun papalitan. Samantalang may mga input naman na hindi na magbabago. Example, some inputs that are fixed. Sabihin, pag yung production tumataas, may mga input na hindi nagbabago. Kasi yung variable, pag tumataas yung output or dumadami yung products produce, yung labor tumataas din yung oras tumataas din kasi variable sila. Now, may mga input gastos na hindi siya tumataas kahit tumataas ang output. Example, yung from 10,000 units per day, pag ginawa mo siyang 20,000 units per day, tumataas ang output. Pero yung rent doon sa building, hindi nagbabago. Ganun pa rin. Kasi ang rent ay fixed Example, rent expense monthly, 50,000 pesos. Hindi siya nagbabago. Kahit taas ang production mo, kahit taas ang output mo, hindi siya nagbabago. Because rent is a fixed cost. Initially, an output will rise more and more rapidly, but eventually it will slow down. So, mga future businessmen out there, no? Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina, na diminishing marginal. Sa una, tumataas ang dagdag sa output or production. Pero habang tumatagal, let's say after 1 month, after 1 year, yung dagdag sa output ay pababa ng pababa. That is normal. No? That is the law of diminishing marginal return. So huwag kayong magulat. Huwag kayong magtaka. No? Bakit bumababa? Kahit dagdagan niyo yung tao. So dapat pag nagdagdag ka ng tao, dagdagan din yung ibang input like machines, capacity, or equipment. No? Para yung output ay hindi siya nagdi-diminish. Or I mean the marginal product is not diminishing. Yung dagdag. So this is called the law of diminishing marginal returns. Now, 3 stages of production. Pinakita natin kanina, and this will happen to your businesses na mga itatayo nyo. The different levels of production. Stage 1, the average product rising. Kita natin di stage 1 ito. Yung pag nagdagdag ka ng input, yung pag-rise ng output ay consistent. Pataas ng pataas. That is the average product rising for stage 1. That is normal. Pataas talaga siya, no? Pero pagdating sa stage number 2, average product is declining. Okay? May dagdag pa rin, pero declining na siya. Kita mo dito, di ba? Dadagdag naman talaga pero declining. Meron pa rin dagdag, meron pa rin profit, pero hindi na tulad nung nasa stage 1. Kapag dating sa stage 3, ito na yung marginal product is negative or total product is now declining. So kitang-kita natin dito rising, then nag-flatten na siya dito. Then pagdating ng stage 3 sa inyong production, it will now goes down or it will now be declining. Pag hindi ka nagdagdag ng capacity, machine or equipment, ganito talaga mangyayari. To avoid this one, pag nagdagdag ka ng tao, magdagdag ka rin ng capacity or machine or equipment para hindi siya mag-decline. Okay, so that's cost, revenue, and profits. So basically, cost ay mga gastos. Revenue are the benta. And the profits are the tubo. That is the basic sa business. Pag nag-revenue ka at meron kang cost, ginastos. And if you will compare that to revenue versus cost, we are expecting profit, but sometimes hindi profit eh. Sometimes net loss ang makukuha mo dyan. Okay, so let's cut this one. Fixed factor and variable factors. I have mentioned earlier, no, pag sinabing variable costs, ito yung mga inputs or resources sa ating mga business which a manager can adjust to alter production in the short run. Example, if you want to increase the production, you can increase the labor cost. You can increase the direct material cost. Tataas talaga yan eh. You can manipulate, you can control. If you want to have more production or more output, pwede mong i-alter yung labor or materials para dumami yung nagawa mo. Now, meron naman mga cost na fixed. Ibig sabihin, it does not affect your production, your level of production. Example, yung the short run pag sabing short run, sa loob ng isang taon, dito na magbago mga yan. Kahit dagdagan mo yung land, no? Dagdagan mo yung capital, dagdagan mo yung renta, it don't have an effect on the output. Right? Kasi fixed yan eh. So you can, if you are the manager, you can control, you can alter yung production at galawin mo yung capital or yung land. Kasi they are fixed cost. Sabihin, kahit wala kang production, binabayaran mo yan. Yung land, example, rent sa land, binabayaran mo yan eh. Wala siyang effects sa output or sa total production because those are fixed costs. Example, we have here explicit cost. Explicit cost versus implicit cost. So, explicit, express, no? Talagang pinakita mo na meron talagang gastos. Kitang-kita na merong gastos. Kasi explicit costs are the costs that have a money value. Mga gastos na binabayaran natin ng pera. Example, renta, materials binili natin, may bayad yan eh. Binili natin sa supplier natin, binayaran natin sila. Energy, the power, electric power, may bayad yan. We pay the rent, we pay interest sa bangko, we pay the salary wages of the workers, of the employees. Bibili ka ng mga supplies from the outside. So from accounting point of view, ito yung mga accounting costs na binabayaran talaga natin sila ng pera. From accountants point of view, kitang-kita. Now from the economist point of view, may mga gastos na ginagamit yung company pero hindi natin binabayaran. Hindi natin kita na binabayaran. Implicit cost ang tawag natin. So this is the earnings that a firm could have had if it had employed its factors in another use hired. So itong tinatawag natin mga opportunity cost. Okay, so patay ng sample, no? Example, ikaw ay may catering service. Yung catering service mo, kumikita sa monthly ng net income ay 50,000 sa yung catering service. 50,000 monthly. Inaisipan mo isarado tong catering service. You want to transfer, to convert into a fast food. So from catering, magpa-fast food ka ngayon. Okay? Now, sa yung fast food business, marami kang gastos like salary, the rent, then yung materials or ingredients na ginagamit. Okay? From the accounting point of view, sinasama na rin dito yung opportunity cost. Pag sa opportunity cost, ito yung 50,000 pesos kanina na supposedly ay kinikita mo pag meron kang catering service. Diba, nagtayo ka ng fast food, sabi mo, pagtayo ng fast food, kaya lang sayang yung kinikita ko sa catering service, sinarado ko magkano mong kita mo doon? 50,000. 50,000, it is now considered as implicit cost. Kasi that is an opportunity cost. Yung mga income na na-lost mo, for using another alternative. Ayan. Hindi mo binayaran yun ha. Pero those are lost income ng iyong fast food. Those are implicit cost. Alright? Tapos, nagtatrabaho ka dati, no? Meron kang regular job dati. Ang sweldo mo, 30,000. Nag-resign ka ngayon, nagtayo ka ng business. Yung 30,000 na na-lost mo sa iyong employment is now considered as implicit cost. Yan. Right? Or mayroon kang deposit sa bangko, may 500,000 ka sa bangko. Yung deposit mo, nag-earn siya ng interest sa bangko. Diba? Pag may deposit sa bangko, nag-earn siya ng interest. Yung 500,000 mo sa bangko, nag-earn siya ng interest na 10,000 pesos. Ibigla mong withdraw yung pera mo sa bangko, ipapasok mo ng negosyo. Okay? Yung interest income na na-earn mo sa bangko is now considered as implicit cost. Di ba sabi mo, ay sayang yung aking interest sa bangko. Nag-earn ako ng interest dati sa bangko 10,000. I-withdraw mo yung pera mo doon, so wala kang interest doon. So the interest cost is a lost income. It is considered as implicit cost from the point of view of an economist. Ayan. Okay? So let's go to the next one. Total fixed cost is the total cost of the fixed asset. It is constant in amount. Example, pag yung depreciation expense is a fixed cost. Pag sinabing depreciation expense, ito yung pagbaba ng value ng yung equipment. Bawat one. Example, yung delivery van mo, no? Bawat buwan nag-decline yung kanyang value ng 10,000. Bawat buwan yan. May production car wala, nag-decline yung kanyang value. So that is fixed cost. Ay, ano pa? Taxes, no? Tax na binabayaran ng yung company para sa building, that is fixed. May production or wala, binabayaran niya, that is fixed cost. Ano pa? Yung sweldo ng manager, no? Yung manager ng isang company, may production or wala, binabayaran mo siya. Fixed cost. Now, TBC is total variable cost. Example, di ba kanina yung manager sa TFC, may production o wala, yung manager binabayaran mo siya. So, fixed cost yun. Pagdating sa TVC, yung sweldo ng taong gumagawa ng product, that is variable cost. Bakit? Kasi pag wala siyang ginawa, wala siyang bayad. Pag nakagawa siya ng 5, meron siyang bayad. Pag nakawa na siya ng 10, doble ang kanyang bayad. So, it varies, no? Depende ang variable cost, depende sa level of production. Pag tumataas ang production, ang bayad natin dyan tumataas. Parang gastos natin dyan tumataas, no? Like direct labor ng mga factory worker, direct materials ginagamit sa production, those are total variable cost. Kasi nagbabago sila. Kapag inad natin yung dalawang yan, so ang cost natin sa product natin, our manufacturing cost ay total variable cost plus total fixed cost. That is a total cost. Nagsama natin dalawa. Variable and fixed equal to total cost sa isang company. So, revenue is the income that a firm receives from selling its products, goods, and service over a certain period of time. Sa atin, we measure our revenue taon-taon kasi we pay our taxes monthly. We pay our taxes annually. So, sinusukat natin ang revenue. Example, 2024, magkano ang yung revenue? From January to December, magkano ang yung revenue? So, that is for a period, for a given period of time, we measure our revenue. Ganun din yung cost and expenses. Okay, total, the TR, total revenue. So, basic to. Pag meron ka nagbebenta ka ng product, total revenue is the price of your product multiplied by the quantity. Sabihin, yung presyo mo, ang price ng yung product is normally, we base that on the cost. Pag ang puhunan mo sa isang product na ginagawa is 10 pesos, dinadagdag natin siya ng markup. Sabi mo, puhunan ko 10 pesos, no? Napatuan ko siya ng markup na 3 pesos. magiging 13. So, ang selling price mo ngayon or the letter P is 13 pesos. So, depende kung magkano markup, kung magkano patong mo. No? Pwede mo siyang doblehin. Example, ang gas may 10 pesos. Pwede mo siyang doblehin. 10, gasos by 10. Papatuan ko ng 10 pesos para maging 20. So, ang selling price mo ay 20 pesos. Or pwede rin kalahati, no? Example, ang puhunan mo ay 20. Sabi mo, papatuan ko siya ng kalahati. So, 10 pesos. So, ang selling price mo ay 30 pesos. That is a normal things of pricing, no? Base cost, cost-based pricing ginagamit natin. Then multiply by the Q. The Q is the quantity. Kung ilan yung mga nabenta mo sa loob ng isang taon. Example, selling price 15. Nakabenta ka ng 100. 100 times 15. So that is 1,500. Yung total revenue sa loob ng isang taon. Okay, and the profit theory. When you see profit, this one is basic. The total revenue minus the total cost. In accounting point of view, that is normal. The normal profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. Pag sinabing total cost, ito yung fixed cost and variable cost pinagsama natin. That is your total cost. And total revenue minus total cost is equal to your profit or tubo. But for the accounting point of view, iba ang profit sa mga economist point of view. May economist kasi, yung economic cost ay explicit cost. Explicit cost, ito yung mga gastos na binabayaran ng pera, rent, labor, materials. Pero sinasama pa rin na yung implicit cost. Pag sa implicit cost, ito yung mga cost na hindi binabayaran ng cash. Binanggit natin kanina mga opportunity cost, yung mga income na na-lost mo kasi nagpalit ka ng trabaho, nagpalit ka ng business, yung mga implicit cost. Pag pinagsama mo yung dalawang yon, from the economist point of view, ito yung tinatawag nating economic cost. So, sa mga economist, ang profit is measured by total revenue minus economic cost. So, accountant iba. Ang accountant, dapat may perang nilabas, total cost. Those are the two profit theory. As a cost-benefit analysis ng isang business, no? Isang negosyo. So let's read the definition. Cost-benefit analysis is in project management or in business is a tool na ginagamit natin. So we are using this one to evaluate the cost versus the benefits in our project proposal or business. It begins with a list as so many processes do. So we're comparing, no? Yung cost tapos yung benefit. Meron tayong mga steps na sa cost-benefit analysis. Unang-una, dapat ini-identify muna natin lahat ng cost and benefit ng isang business. So, sa cost natin, we outline all the direct and indirect cost. Example ng mga direct and indirect costs sa ating mga business. Okay. Ito yung mga expenses, mga direct costs sa ating mga business. Expenses, yung time na ating ginagamit, the resources na ating ginagamit sa business. Ito yung mga cost. And we compare that with the benefit. Pag sinabi ng benefit, ito yung mga example, revenue, benta natin, mga time that we save, improvement, satisfaction, outcomes. Ang benefit, hindi pa laging revenue, hindi pa laging pera. Next step, we quantify the cost and benefit. Pag na-identify na natin ano mga pinanggagalingan ng cost or pinanggagalingan ng mga benefit natin, we will now quantify o lagyan natin ang amount. We should now assign monetary values to each cost and benefit wherever possible. even for intangible asset, for intangible things like satisfaction, lagyan natin ng monetary value. Kasi yung ibang cost, madalis ang lagyan ng monetary value. Example, labor, yung hours, materials, madalis ang lagyan ng pera, ang amount. Pero yung customer satisfaction, in-measure din natin dapat yan. Pero parang mahirap natin bigyan ng monetary value ang customer satisfaction. Anyway, yun ay kasama pa rin sa benefit na nakukuha natin. Then the second one, we should now measure the value, the time value. Kasi yung gastos natin 5 years ago is different from the gastos today. Yung gastos natin ngayon 100 pesos, 5 years from now, iba na ang value ng 100 pesos. Yung 100 pesos natin 5 years ago is different from the 100 pesos ngayon. Because of the time value of money, nagbabago ang value ng money. Yung gagawin natin, if we measure the benefit and the cost, dapat i-adjust natin sila sa time value of money or sa inflation, for example. Kasi iba-iba, sabi ko kanina, yung 105 years ago is different from the 100 pesos today. Kahit yan ay cost or yan ay revenue. So number 4, pag na-measure natin using time value of money, we will now compare the total cost. We will now calculate the net benefits. Total benefits minus the total cost. Kung saan dyan yung project na may mas malaki na benefit para sa atin. Project 1, Project 2, or Project 3. Okay? And the last one, we will now decide aling project, aling alternative ang ating pipiliin based on the cost and benefit analysis. And the next one, the economic growth. So, we measure ang economic growth natin depending on the cost and the benefit. The net benefit na nakukuha natin. Hindi porke maraming benefit na kukuha, nag-grow na tayo. Kasi yung benefit ay nag-grow, pero yung cost ay nag-grow pa rin, parang wala. Parang wala rin, di ba? So, ang kinukuha natin ay yung net. The net benefit. Ang benefit ay tumataas, pero yung cost natin ay efficient or nami-minimize natin yung benefit. So, I'm sure we'll have economic growth. Pero pag yung benefit natin ay tumataas, na yung cost tumataas din, parang wala rin. Okay, and the last slide for today, the circular flow of income sa isang microeconomics. May dalawang player dito, the individuals, the buyer, the customers, the consumers. To your left na. To your right, the businesses. Kung sila nagpapalitan, yung income, pa-circle lang siya. Kumbaga, pabalik-balik lang sa kanila. At tinawag isang circular flow of income. Example, yung business ay nagbebenta ng product, goods and services. Kanino? Itong kulay green. Binibenta nilang kanilang goods and services sa mga individuals, customers, client, consumers. Kulay green. Ayan. Okay? Yung goods papunta sa individuals. Then the individuals will now pay the business. We call this expenditures. Siyempre, pag may binenta sa'yo, pag may binigay sa'yo yung products, no? May expenses ka eh. For the prices of the goods and services. That is the expenditures. Right? Now, yung business, individuals, pwede rin magtrabaho sa mga businessmen. Okay? Dito, baliktad, no? Pag meron silang individual at trabaho sa business, yung business ngayon magbabayad ng sweldo or income ng mga individuals. Okay? Itong income, ipambibili ng products ng mga businesses. Kaya circular. Sa individual, pag wala siyang income galing sa mga businesses, wala siyang pambili. Right? Now, so bakit mayroong income? Kasi individual, nagpo-provide ng labor sa mga businesses or companies. The business will pay the income. So, paikot. Circular. Right? Now, yung labor na ginagamit dito, ay gagamitin ng mga business in producing goods, ay bibenta naman sa mga individuals. Right? So, kaya natin siyang circular flow of income sa isang microeconomics. Okay, so that one is the last slide for the day. Hoping that you got something, guys, sa ating discussion today about micro economics. I want to credit Google sa mga images na ginamit ko sa aking presentation for today. And with that one, once again, this has been Dr. Cortez, your police doctor, and saying goodbye, saying my goodbye, and hoping that you will view once again all my next video recording. Until next time, guys, see you around. Bye, everyone.